My name is Sven Fahrner. I work at the Institute for Plant Sciences at the Research Center in Jülich. And this is the third of 4 coffee sessions that we have in the pipeline. A little bit of information regarding the 2 hosts of this coffee session series. The first one is the PHENET project. The PHENET project is a Horizon Europe project in the InfraTech pillar. That means it has a focus on technology development. It is coordinated by our colleagues in France, AnaEE, in person of Bertrand Müller. And it deals with phenotyping and EnviroTyping, aiming at optimizing crop performance under environmental stress, developing monitor plant and environment interactions, and aid agroecological transitions. This project has 4 partnering high-class European research infrastructures, and we will hear today about the AnaEE-ERIC one. We've heard already in the recent days about emphasis and about Elixir, and there's 1/4 session still coming up next Monday, 3:30 in the evening, Central European time, which is then will be a webinar session on ELTA. And you can still register for that webinar. I will put the link to the registration in the chat afterwards. The challenges the PHENET project is addressing are around the big topics regarding climate change and related biodiversity losses, food security, reducing pesticide soil degradation. And PHENET aims at contributing to in a bigger picture to the strategy of agroecology. In more detail, the project asks to get more understanding on the interaction between plant and its environment in terms of, for example, complex canopies, pathogens, biotic and abiotic interaction, and also on more understanding regarding the variables temporarily and spatially. And by doing so, we are working towards applications in breeding pathways for future genotypes and towards integrating innovative agricultural practices like, for example, intercropping or agroforestry into the application of latest technologies. The second co-host that we have in that session or in that webinar series is the International Plant Phenotyping Network. This is a global network aiming at facilitating and promoting interaction between the plant phenotyping practitioners worldwide in order to integrate the regionally and globally fragmented activities, to enable exchange of knowledge, information, and expertise, to address technology development and implementation, and to advise decision makers on state-of-the-art and future opportunities and limits. This network brings together experts from research, from academia, from industry, and it's open for further participation. It's not participation in person, but your institution can become a member of the network, and then you can participate in all these activities, with further information to be found on the website of the International Plant Phenotyping Network. What do we aim at today while sitting here? So first, we want to inform you, the community, and share information about phenotyping and EnviroTyping capacity available to the infrastructures participating in PHENET. Specifically, we want to learn from and discuss with Biljana Đorđević, who will help us to explore AnaEE-ERIC and its services that will be provided to the benefit of the community. And for those of you who are active in the PHENET project, this is already a first step, encouraging you to consider and think about how PHENET technologies could be integrated into the services of the AnaEE research infrastructure. We are very happy to have Biljana here today. Some background information on Biljana Đorđević. So she holds some PhD in plant phytology and has been working in research for more than a decade by now, focusing on plant biotechnology, plant physiology, and the impacts of biotic and abiotic stress on plant development. So with more than 10 years of experience, Biljana has joined the research infrastructure AnaEE-ERIC in May this year, and she's scientific officer and head of the Interface and Synthesis Center in Brno in Czechia. Having said that, I would like to open the floor then to Biljana, and we are very much looking forward to your presentation and your input, Biljana. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Sven, for giving me the opportunity to present AnaEE-ERIC today. Here are the outlines of my presentation. In the beginning, I'm going to introduce AnaEE-ERIC, then I'm going to talk about scope of research and operations. Then I'm going to present AnaEE facilities and how the community can use AnaEE services. And in the end, like take-home message, I'm going to give you a short, brief summary of what I was presenting today. So, AnaEE is the Intergovernmental European Research Infrastructure Consortium for Ecosystem Research that brings together analysis and experimentation on different ecosystems across Europe. AnaEE becomes ERIC in February 2022, and it is founded by 6 member countries, 1 observer country, and 1 international organization. AnaEE is both a multi-site and a distributed infrastructure, which includes 4 service centers: Central Hub, which is AnaEE headquarters located in France, Technology Center located in Denmark, Data and Modeling Center located in Italy, and Interface and Synthesis Center located in the Czech Republic, where I'm working. At the core of AnaEE approach is a network of distributed experimental facilities through which ecosystems can be exposed to a series of controlled conditions, from land use change, pollution, biological invasions, rising atmospheric greenhouse gases concentration, to extreme events such as heat waves or droughts. AnaEE has a special focus on understanding of the climate change on ecosystem functions, and as well as unrevealing the mechanisms of adaptation at different hierarchical levels, from molecular level to the ecosystem as a whole. Scope of research and operations in AnaEE. So AnaEE is covering and addressing different types of issues, from scientific through methodological and technological up to socioeconomic issues. From the scientific perspective, AnaEE is covering giving possibility to study simultaneously and multiple pressures of global change on ecosystems, tools to monitor multiple interacting ecosystem processes, tools to study changes in different levels of biological organization, diverse ecosystem types, from grassland, agricultural land, to lakes and rivers, to study the multiple compartments of continental ecosystems, portfolio of platforms and experimental tools for modeling and predictions, and experimental tools that cover different spatial scales. From the methodological and technological perspective, AnaEE infrastructure combines distributed and complementary services into a single offer. It provides a common access portal, PCA, which I'm going to talk a little bit later, with shared rules, project and data management tools, and sample storage facilities. AnaEE supports the development of innovative technologies, whether in the field of experimentation, analysis, or modeling. From the socioeconomic perspective, the most relevant economic sectors for AnaEE include agricultural and forestry production, natural resources, and risk management. AnaEE offers possibility to socioeconomic world to test methods, transfer innovations, or provide data and models for decision support. Collaboration with the private sector and an integral part of the service mission offered by the AnaEE facilities. So, what is the fundamental research challenge in AnaEE? It is to understand the dynamics and sensitivity of ecosystems to global change. In this perspective, we need to manipulate ecosystems to characterize their dynamic properties, the complexity of the interactions, and develop fundamental solutions necessary for the implementation of adaptation and restoration measures. AnaEE meets these objectives by providing a coherent set of services dedicated to experimentation for the study of terrestrial and aquatic continental ecosystems. AnaEE offers capacities to develop multidisciplinary approaches, combining experimentation, analysis, and modeling services. It provides easy access to research facilities throughout different geographical regions, biomes, ecosystems, as shown on this map. The uniqueness and value of AnaEE lies in the emphasis of experimental methods. Our experimental facilities allow simulation, of environmental changes, which help us to understand the impact of different factors and how they interact. By combining this with modeling, we can predict how ecosystems can respond in the future, including identifying tipping points and understand how ecosystem can adapt to these changes. So who are the AnaE users? Like, who is using AnaE services? The primary target for us is the research or academic community, with the aim to provide them with the excellent opportunity to do their research. Then also our users are AnaE members, industrial partners and NGOs, and then as well policymakers and general public. So in AnaE, we have 4 types of facilities. I organize this. I'm not going to provide today detailed information about our services, especially regarding PHENET project about EnviroTyping, which we are focused strongly on it. However, I'm going to give you the possibility to go to visit and to encourage you to visit ECS service catalog. You can find and see to get the more information about all our facilities, and you can explore our services. So there are 4 types of facilities located in the 7 countries: open air, enclosed, analytical, and modeling. I'm going to present now with a little bit more details each of these type of facility. Open air facilities have been designed to host long-term experiments lasting at least over 1 or 2 decades, with the aim to investigate how long-term trends affect various natural processes, especially in soils, but also in other systems. These long-term open air studies provide a critical scientific methods for observing potential patterns within ecosystem using realistic field conditions. AnaE open air facilities are exceptional since they can combine manipulation of multiple global change drivers in unique ecosystem types with advanced tools and protocols in order to characterize ecosystem functioning from organisms to element cycles. Open air facilities in AnaE can operate in different modes: as standalone experimental facilities with physical and remote access for the old data and samples, as a global network of sites to perform coordinated in situ experiments, and as a provider of long-term global change scenario data. Enclosed facilities. So enclosed facilities are not novelty for environmental scientists, since for more than for decades, environmental scientists used growth rooms and phytotrons, putting plants in the pot in order to study different simulation of climate and so on. But what is unique in AnaE enclosed facilities is that they are whole ecosystem level design and measurement technologies. These facilities comprise of at least 12 individually controllable exposure units, in order to be able to fully cross at least 2 experimental drivers, for example, high CO2 concentration, heat waves, rainfall, or something like that, and then in 2x2 factorial design and 3 replicates. The most advanced category of such facilities are ecotrons, which are equipped to measure multiple ecosystem processes in real time and in an automated fashion, which allows continuous tracking of the ecosystem responses to the imposed pressure. Enclosed facilities also can operate in many different ways, from short to medium-term exposure, and as an ecosystem analyzes by bringing whole pieces of ecosystem from open air or natural habitats entered temporarily into the ecotron and measuring ecosystem processes as one component of 2 linked facilities containing the same ecosystem types. For example, an open air facility that provides microclimate data from the field to drive the climate control experiments into the ecotron in the real time. Then in AnaE we have analytical facilities, which are specific group of facilities whose main objective is to provide additional services for the ecosystem experiments, which generally bring added values for the scientists and for the results understanding. These facilities are equipped with state-of-the-art instrumentation and use the cutting-edge methodologies with the highest accuracy closely related to ecosystem and bioeconomy research. Here, from analytical facilities, analytical services, I can mention plant and soil analytical labs for measuring different types of parameters, metabolomic lab, isotope lab, mobile biogenic volatile organic compounds, plant physiology lab, molecular biology, genetics, and different types of labs. Modeling facilities. AnaEE stands out by offering this diverse type of modeling services, which are specialized in high quality statistical and biophysical modeling for complex environmental systems. These facilities support model development that enhance data analysis, synthesis, and enables prediction of ecosystem responses to global changes. The challenge of organizing and conducting large-scale field experiments can often be difficult and to struggle with the rapidly changing environmental conditions we face today. Numeric simulation, however, provide a robust tool for forecasting environmental trends and assessing the potential impacts of new management practices on climate change. Accurate modeling also aids in identifying anomalies and inconsistencies in observed field data, deepening our understanding of the complex dynamics within environmental systems. These insights empower researchers to design more effective experiments, plan targeted monitoring activities, and develop long-term projects. On the broader scale, this information serves stakeholders and policymakers in making appropriate decisions for sustainable management. So how the community can use AnaEE services? As I already mentioned, a web interface is available at the AnaEE web portal ICIA to provide a single entry point for requesting access to the AnaEE infrastructure. The web portal informs users about the main services offered by each of the facility and service centers and provide a structured way of users to apply for access. ICIA, here I put you website link to go to browse AnaEE facility and to see what are our services which we are offering. However, speaking of ICIA, I need to mention that on ICIA website, there is a service catalog, including the main features of each facility and information about ongoing research activities, as well as the primary results that have been generated. Also, additional information which can be found on ICIA catalog of services for each facility are facility description, metadata, including on GPS coordinates, about position of each of the facility, climatic zone, meteorological data, ecosystem types, more technical design about each facility, how many replicates can be performed in these facilities, or, for example, current capacity, availability of the current capacity, and many others. So to make long story short, how the community can use AnaEE services through EU-funded projects like AgroServe, Aquaser, Micros for Climate, IRIS. Community can submit their project proposal on the ICIA web portal. For direct services, we are currently working on updating the access policy. Call will be open in the beginning of 2025. Community can browse our catalog of services and submit the application through our user-friendly submission application portal, which is currently also being developed at the ICIA web page. I have to say that in AnaEE we are also offering transnational access, which are used to benefit global change studies. And also, as many of AnaEE research facilities have been operated over decades, AnaEE also offer virtual access to comprehensive background data for better long-term temporal resolution. So from the 2022, how AnaE became ERIC, AnaE was an attractive partner in European project. As you can see, AnaE is currently a coordinator, like for in case of AgroServe or other projects as a partner. I put here PHENET, which is the InfraTech project for developing the services. Other projects like AgroServe, Microsoft Climate, AquaServe, IRIS are providing services to the community. So AnaE is open for any kind of collaboration with also other research infrastructures. And in the end, AnaEE-ERIC benefits the whole community. It is a research infrastructure focused on studying ecosystems and addressing environmental challenges. It provides tools and services to fill knowledge gaps, offering diverse settings for research across ecosystems in Europe. Through experimentation and modeling, we advance ecosystem science and contribute to effective environmental management. And I would like to thank you for your attention. Here you can find our website. Here also you can write to us if you have any additional questions. I strongly encourage you as well to search AnaEE-ERIC on X platform, social network, or LinkedIn to stay up to date with the news and novelties what we have. Thank you.